People ask Reddit. What is the most unexplainable thing that ever happened to you? I had a living room in my parents' two-story house that connected to stairs leading to the second floor of the house. You could see completely down the hall on the second floor from the couch in the living room. One time my family went away on vacation, so I had my cousin come over while I house sat for them. I'd been alone in this house for a couple of days now and I just really wanted company. We're sitting on this couch playing Xbox, or something. The stairs leading to the second floor are almost out of my vision. At the very top of the stairs on the left is a doorway leading to a bathroom and nothing else. We were up pretty late gaming when out of the corner of my eye I saw a gray face lean out and stare at me for a split second. I didn't budge, I just barely noticed it, but as soon as I did, it was gone. I hadn't snapped to look at it, nor did I say anything. I just continued gaming for about 3 seconds until my cousin said, "Did you just see that?" As soon as our eyes connected we both knew we saw the same thing. The second my cousin said that, I felt my heart sink. It scared the shit out of me to have him pretty much confirm what I saw, but brushed off. I had immediately assumed it was just one of those blurs, or darting shadows you get in the corner of your eyes at times. The creepiest part is that it slid out as if it were lying on the floor. Whatever it was, its head was at level with the top of the steps right at the bottom of the bathroom door frame. It just sorta slid out, stared, then slid back. Again, I just saw it from the corner of my eyes, but it appeared to be gray-skinned with black hair from our combined description. We went upstairs and checked the whole bathroom, including the insides of luggage bags in the closet. We never found anything. Edit, to this day I still can't have a door in my house open. I'm afraid you'll be looking down the hall and some gray-skinned creature will just lean half its face out to silently stare at me, and then vanish. To all the people saying it was a raccoon or something, you think exactly like me. Using that as an excuse to go make sure the bathroom is clear. We both knew it was a lie, but we both would have felt safer getting attacked by a raccoon at that point. That's why we checked every single bag in the closet. Whatever it was, we had trapped into the bathroom. It had nowhere to go. Whatever it was, it disappeared without a trace. When I was around 15, my parents left me home alone for the weekend, Friday night to Sunday later afternoon, and I was thinking this is awesome. I can chill, play games all weekend and eat what I want. Went to sleep Friday night, and then woke up to my mom waking me up to what I thought was the next morning. So I asked, "What happened? I thought you were going out the whole weekend." To which she replied, "What are you talking about? It's 4 p.m. Sunday." I have no idea what happened to those 2 days. I didn't leave the house. There was no food or washing up that had changed since they left. I hadn't looked at my phone, there were unread messages from Saturday morning. But I refused to believe I was asleep the whole time. A really strong feeling kept me out of a high-rise building during an earthquake. I was staying late at work with some colleagues. Our office was located around the 40th, 50th floor of the building. I suddenly had a really strong thought that wow, if an earthquake were to hit now, the dash downstairs would be chaotic. I tried to brush it off but couldn't, the feeling was so strong. And it's not like I'm not used to working in high-rise buildings, I've been working at the place for around 2 years at that point, and had never felt that way before or since. I decided to leave and work from home, which was only 15 minutes away on foot. Just as I arrived at home, an earthquake struck. It was pretty intense, and thankfully everyone at the office was alright, just freaked out, but it was so strange that something just told me to leave just minutes before it happened. I was walking to my friend's house one summer, maybe 10 or 11 years old. Anyways, sunny day, couple clouds but otherwise it's bright out, perfect visibility, when a perfectly rectangular shadow comes up from the direction behind me on the ground, maybe 15x30 in size, traveling just faster than a car probably would be and goes over top of me. I'm looking at the shape on the ground as it goes over, and when I do look up to the sky I don't see anything that could have possibly cast it. Even the clouds were just trailing little wisps. I looked back down and it was going over some houses, and then it was gone forever. So yeah, weirdest thing was a mystery rectangle shadow. I also saw mystery rectangle shadow. It was maybe 5 years ago, hot summer day, sunny blue sky, no clouds in sight. It was fast, I would say as fast as a car and maybe as big. Zooming along the road, partly on the asphalt, partly on the shrubbery beside. I saw it from the window and immediately looked in the sky, nothing there and no sound. Nevertheless, I explained to myself that it was some military shit, as I am not really a big believer in paranormal. I guess it was a coincidence, but when I was little I used to go outside in the mornings to pet a cat that lived under my home. I used to play with her every day. One night I had a dream that she died, so I woke up distraught, went out to our usual place, and I called out for her. She never came out and I never saw her again since the dream. When I was about 11 we took in a dog for somebody who was very old. He wasn't in great health anymore, but we were supposed to be his final happy home, since we lived out in the middle of nowhere. We had him for about a year when one night I just randomly decided to go outside to sit with him and pet him. I sat outside and laid down on him. He was a big dog, for probably an hour even though it was a pretty chilly winter night. Before anybody thinks we were leaving him out in crazy cold temperatures, he refused to go indoors, and we kept a space heater in a sheltered area he would lay down in. I don't know what possessed me to say it, but I gave him a big hug right before I went inside and told him it was okay to go. The next morning, my mom woke me up to tell me that he had passed away in the night. I helped her move his body to somewhere not out in the middle of the open so the owner could come say their final goodbye, and that was it. Honestly, I still don't understand how I knew, but I think I just empathized with his pain and told him it was okay to let go and not have to keep living for us. Not me, but my parents. In the place they used to live in, there was this old couch. My mom sometimes would walk by in the middle of the night and see a silhouette sitting there. She describes it as a man, sitting down, with a hat on, just sitting there. She saw it several times but thought nothing of it. Damn, she's brave, Lamau. She never told my dad, who one day said to her, it's weird, but sometimes in the middle of the night I think I see a man sitting down on the couch doing nothing. So yeah, they both saw the same man sitting on this couch, and they told each other after they'd both seen it. Weird. When my daughter was about 18 months old, her grandmother passed away. That evening, I put my daughter to bed as normal, but instead of going to sleep pretty quickly as she usually did, she spent over an hour giggling and squealing with laughter. When I went to check on her, she was staring at an empty chair in her room, laughing as if she was watching the funniest thing ever. This carried on every night until the day of her grandmother's funeral. Kind of similar. My grandmother and my brother would sit under the Christmas tree playing with the train decoration running around it. She passed a few weeks before Christmas when I was very young. After her funeral, every night, at different times after midnight when we had all gone upstairs to bed, the train would turn itself on and my mom would go down and turn it off. After a week, my mom exasperatedly yelled down the stairs, "Enough, Grandma's name, we miss you but we need sleep." The train stopped and never turned itself back on again. After that Christmas, my mom refused to put a train under the tree. We gave it to our uncle who was a train enthusiast. He never had it turn on by itself after all these years. 2 days after one of my closest, dearest friends died, we were semi-expecting it after he was in a terrible accident. I fell asleep in the library at school. This was after a horrific couple of days trying to process everything and function normally. I was massively sleep deprived. I placed my head in my arms on the library desk and I woke up and there he was beside me. It was a scenario that had happened so many times, us revising and hanging out in the library together, whispered jokes and banter, that it didn't feel strange at all. We stood up and wandered around, watched one librarian putting books away on shelves. There was a girl reading a book sat on the floor with sickly bright yellow socks. My friend made some silly dad joke about them being too loud for the library. We chatted in low voices, about nothing much, the usual chit-chat, and then went back to the desks. I woke up and he was gone. Of course, I was startled but weirdly euphoric. I went over the same set of shelves and had deja vu, saw the same librarian putting away the books and the same girl with the yellow socks still there sat on the floor reading. I swear to this day I hadn't seen them before I went to sleep. I'd like to think it was his way of saying goodbye. It helped me immensely, even though I know it was probably just a dream. But the socks thing has always stuck with me, and anytime I see a pair of loud yellow socks, not very often, I think of him in our final chat. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.